Hey everyone, and welcome back to Joey's Retro Handhelds. I'm Joey, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new RayNeo Air3s AR glasses. Now, I am obviously wearing the glasses. This isn't how I normally walk around and how I normally look and do my daily routines and all of that, but for videos about AR glasses, I love wearing them throughout the entire video just to give you an idea of how it looks in every single scenario when you're just wearing them. This isn't my first time checking out RayNeo glasses or AR glasses at all. By this point, I have done Vitchers, I've looked at XREALs, I've looked at RayNeos, and so on, and multiples of each brand. So it's safe to say that I'm familiar enough with the tech at this point. Now, these Air3s's are the sequel to the previous Air2s, which were already really good, and they had fantastic speakers, which this continues. They had the best out of any glasses that I've ever used, on speaker-wise at least. And there's no difference here. The speakers are really good on these. One of the selling points for sure. We'll talk about the other big selling point. So these have micro OLED screens inside, and you can probably see, I think, a little bit of it, of what I'm seeing. You can see little white boxes. That's my tablet showing my script for the video, so you can see that in the outside. But it has a larger eye box here, so there's no more blurry edges. If you've had any first generation products of AR glasses, a lot of them had blurry edges. That tech has pretty much been solved at this point by every brand, so you don't have to worry too much about that anymore. The screen inside is a 201-inch screen, which nobody can ever really confirm. We just get these numbers about how big the screen is, but we just believe them. And yeah, it looks very big. You can see it. It's a big screen. But let's talk about where they improve over other glasses. Now, these Air3s's have something called OptiCare Tech, which is the marketing term that they're calling it, but essentially there is a 3840 Hz DC plus PWM dimming, and that basically helps you reduce the screen flicker, reduces eye discomfort, and fatigue, and it helps for those that are susceptible to light. So if you've ever had issues with PWM dimming on maybe a Steam Deck OLED, Nintendo Switch OLED, I don't know if that actually has the problem, but other devices that have PWM dimming issues, this is for you because they've solved that problem here. Now, another improvement for the Air3s's over even the Air2s's and even the XREAL ones is the contrast. We are at 200,000 to 1 here compared to 100,000 to 1 on other glasses. Basically gives you just richer images and details, and it avoids the overexposure and the crushed blacks that you usually get. So it just gives you a much crisper, better image. Honestly, just the colors pop on these glasses, and I've noticed that the image is vastly improved over other glasses. And taking a look at the specs, they have a 145% sRGB, so it's a lot more vivid and vibrant for colors. And I was using the glasses to play Dragon Quest XIS on the GPD Win 4, and I found the greens and the planes and everything just popped a lot more. It actually looked really beautiful with these glasses. But I'm kind of burying the lead here because the biggest pro to the Air3s's is the price. These are retailing for $269 US, and the launch offer is $219 US, which I'm not sure is still existing as of this video going up or not. It's $219 as of me making this video, but when this goes up, might be $269. I'm not sure. But either way, $219, $269, it's an absolutely crazy, fantastic price for entry-level jump in and go AR glasses. And I would argue that they are finally a mainstream price for anybody to jump in. Before, it was hard to recommend. You'd have to pay $499, $399, $599 to get glasses. For $219 or $269, it's an easy just impulse purchase for a lot of people. That is a great price. Now let's back up a second for those of you that are new to AR glasses. The basic idea here is you would plug these into a USB-C device. So I already have my tablet right here. You can see it's plugged in. So I am getting the image from the tablet right to my glasses. And basically any device that has a USB-C out for display will work with these. You'll be able to just plug in one cord, one cable, and you get the actual display of what should be coming out into your glasses. And so for the devices like, let's say, the GPD Win 4 that I was using in today's video for a lot of different film, they are stuck at 60 Hertz for refresh rate. But because the glasses do 120 hertz, you get an instant boost from 1080p 60 to 1080p 120 hertz. And so I was having a lot of fun with the GPD Win 4 specifically because it was stuck on 60 hertz to just get that nice boost in refresh rate for a lot of different games, to just boost them up to 120 hertz, and suddenly my games play a lot better and I can enjoy them on a bigger screen with these glasses and sit however I want to sit, lie down however I want to lie down, that sort of thing. Now I can also connect these glasses to the PlayStation 5, for example, or the Xbox One S that I have, and they sent me a little adapter to use for the review, and it acts as a bridge to connect everything together. The Switch is the odd man out. It requires an extra accessory called the Joy Dock to connect to it. But otherwise, as long as the device that you're using has some sort of video out, you can mostly get them to work with AR glasses. So for my use cases, obviously a lot of it is just gaming, like I mentioned, but then a lot of times I like just throwing on a movie or TV show, let my wife use the TV and just relax. And I can lie down just facing any position that I want, still get the benefits of a large screen because it's in front of me, and I don't have to worry too much about anything else. It's also super helpful for gaming as well because the controls of the device don't really matter, or if it's too heavy or anything like that. You could just plug these in to the handheld, put it off to the side, grab a Bluetooth controller, and then just play. And you don't have to sit. You could just be in any position you want, just using your controller and the glasses, and you're good. Now, on the software front, there isn't too much to talk about here. This is where the budget price really comes in. Software and features and add-ons are really the part where the $219 or $269 price starts to make sense for this device. For instance, there's a menu in the glasses, and you have the option of a whisper mode, which basically helps you lower the volume to only your ears, and it's sort of like a noise canceling for others so that they don't hear the speakers, although they're not very loud anyways, but they can get loud if you want them to be. Then there's a refresh rate switching between 60 hertz and 120 hertz if you want to swap between those. And then of course you have display colors, so you can swap between a few modes to get the colors how you want, vibrant or less vibrant, that sort of thing. Now they do have an Android app that I can use on my phone, and it sort of acts as a hub and some pre-installed 3D content, since you can do 3D on these glasses, but it's nothing special. I kind of used it just to check it out, but it wasn't anything crazy. Now, comparing to like the XREAL ones, for example, there's a lot less on the features front here. For example, like even adjusting your pupillary distance, you just can't do it with these glasses. So for those of you that have or need prescription inserts, they do have that option like every other AR glasses. So you can buy prescription inserts. And if you have a heavy prescription, you might need that for the lack of adjustment, a lack of options here. So that's just one of the ways that it's kind of a budget option here. But for a lot of people, maybe you don't need that feature, so it ends up making sense. Now, one feature that I wish it did had, and you could probably notice it because you've been watching me throughout this video, the Air 2S's, I complained about it too. Basically, when you're using these glasses, there is the screen in front of you. However, around the screen in the actual glasses is all transparent, so I can see my monitor over there and I'm hitting everything. I can see other things around the actual display. Other glasses have a way for you to black out the actual part of the image behind the display. These glasses don't have that. So you kind of get a transparent look on everything around the display because the display is so bright. That's not an issue. So you could see it. You can see them both here on wherever my fingers are pointing, the two white spots. That's very bright in front of my eyes. But if you got a darker picture, something that blends in a little bit more, then it starts to be a little bit more transparent. Now, first generation glasses solve this with shades. You can put actual physical shades on top. Newer generation glasses have it in the software where it just basically blacks out the rest. I would love to see that in the Air 4S or as a software update if they can do that. But overall, for the price, you get a lot here. It is the budget glasses option for sure, and it is clear how they are positioning that. But I don't feel like normal users jumping in for the first time would be missing out by grabbing these glasses instead of others. Now, obviously, you could spend more and get more with other options like the XREAL ones, for example, and they come with a whole bunch of add-ons and bunch of software features, all that sort of thing. But those are $499 US. These are $219 to $269. That is, let's say, $230 in savings, and you get 80 to 90% of the way there, feature-wise, all that sort of thing. So That is a sizable discount for good glasses. Honestly, I get giddy every time I review one of these AR glasses because something new happens, something new changes, and I love seeing the tech just keep going forward. So it doesn't change here. This is kind of just the budget consolidated option now, which is great. And RayNeo, I think, set the bar here for budget AR glasses. Let me know in the comments below. It has been a while since I've reviewed AR glasses. Have you jumped in? Have you bought any? Does this interest you? Are you looking at a budget option for these? And if you do have them, what do you use them for? Or if you haven't, what are you waiting for to buy one of these? I'm very curious about this. Don't forget to like and sub to help the channel grow. Come join me on the Discord to talk all about glasses and handhelds and all that sort of thing. Support me on Patreon if you like my stuff. And hope you all have a good one.